Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Now it's 11:40 p.m. and I promise you for the first 30 days, one video every day. So I couldn't go to sleep without making a video. So today I want to talk about heartbreaks, how to deal with heartbreaks, how to process them, and how I dealt with a heartbreak, how it shaped me, and yeah, just in general. Maybe to talk about them a bit, and maybe to help some of you that going through a heartbreak and you need to hear some supporting words, I guess. And let me specify it. When I say heartbreak, I mean a relationship heartbreak. So when you go out of a relationship, someone broke up with you, or you broke up with them, someone cheated on you, or whatever, but your heart got broken. And this is the kind I'm going to talk about today because this is the kind that I can talk about from experience. I'm also not talking loud because it's late at night. So I'll just tell my story and how I had my first heartbreak and how I felt about it. So let's go back to when I was 16. I could go a little bit back and tell you like the backstory of the whole relationship, but I don't think it's that necessary. So I was with this girl from 16 until 21, 22. And I spent with her all of my high school years. So from 16 until 18, not all of my high school years, but at least half of them. And then from 18 until 21, I also spent with her. So we're talking about 5 or 6 years together. And I remember I loved her and she loved me. And we had something really special between us. And to this day, I never had something similar. So I can say that now looking back, it really shaped emotionally the person that I am today, for the good and the bad. And at one point in our relationship, in age 21 and 22, she decided to break up with me. I'm not saying that only she wanted to break the relationship, but I'm just saying that she broke up with me. And to be fair, I felt relief back then. I'll be honest with you. I felt relief, because I think until then, I really wanted the relationship to end in the last year or so. But I couldn't really know how to do that because I didn't want to hurt her. And I didn't want to be the person who breaks her heart and she's going to feel bad because of me. So I decided that it's better to stay where I don't want to stay instead of breaking her heart. And at some point, I remember she just broke up with me. We had a conversation, we had a little argument, and she said, okay, but what do you want? You want to break up? And I was like, and then there we decided, okay, this is it. And the few months after the breakup are a little bit weird. I don't know if to say I was happy or I was sad about it. It was just mostly weird. I remember feeling like a lot of weight was lifted from my shoulders. But I still remember, of course, thinking about her and also wondering what she's doing and maybe I should text her or whatever. And also compared to other couples that I know of, we didn't really have like anything after that. So we was like one time breakup and that's it. But let me talk you through for a second about the person I was before that heartbreak and the person I was after that heartbreak, and how did it affect me. So I feel like before that heartbreak, I couldn't really talk emotions, even in the relationship. I couldn't really talk emotions. Every time that an argument would come up or something that we needed to talk about as couples came up, or a problem that she saw in the relationship and she wanted to talk about it came up, every time I found a way to ignore it, to not talk about it. Sometimes I remember I would just put a pillow on my head, on my face, and just like a child, I'm not listening to you. I don't want to talk about it. I kind of pushed everything and all of my emotions aside once I needed to really talk about them. So I was really emotionally unevolved, immature. And I remember after we broke up, I used to still think about her from time to time, and I remember crying from time to time, and I remember feeling like something is missing in my heart from time to time. It really felt like a heartbreak. A lot of you probably know how our heartbreak feels. It feels like almost you're missing part of your heart. You feel it physically. It's something that I cannot explain, but you can feel it physically. But on the other hand, I remember that I started talking emotions with my mom, because she asked about like what happened and whatever, and with the relationship, and do you want to talk about it? But at one point, I really had to open because I couldn't hold everything in anymore. Whether if it's opening up for my mom, for my dad, for my brother and sister, started talking with them about emotions. So, and suddenly I was able to talk about stuff that are annoying me in my relationships with my family and my friends, because suddenly I could talk emotions. I learned how to talk emotions. So this is one thing I learned, by getting my heart broken. I had no choice but to not carry all of this weight inside me and just start to speed out basically whatever I had on my heart and on my mind. But that led me to be more comfortable to talk about things with my mom, talk about things with my dad, talk about things with my brother, with my sisters, with my friend, which actually made my relationship with them better. And also, I learned how much valuable it is and necessary to talk emotions in a relationship and to talk in general, in a relationship, because suddenly I realized that communication is the key to really build a good relationship. If you have problems, you talk about it. If you want something from your partner, you talk about it. If you don't want something, you talk about it. But this is the only way to understand each other. So I understood that putting a pillow over my face and act like a baby wasn't the way to go. And on the other end as well, I learned how to communicate with my parents. That's also a benefit. And with my siblings. Also something I wouldn't do if my heart wouldn't be broken. And also another thing that I learned was, how do I see myself in a relationship, and how much do I put from myself inside a relationship, the next relationship I will have. So let me give you an example. So I really felt that this heartbreak was so big and so dominant for me is because inside the relationship, I put a lot of myself, if not all of me, on the other person. And the same goes to her. She put a lot of who she was on me, in the sense of I was always there for her and she was always there for me, but I wasn't there for myself. That's how I felt it. And once she wasn't there, no one was there for me. And that made me realize that I don't want my next relationship to be like that. And I'm not saying in the sense of I don't want my partner to lean on me, or I don't want me to be able to lean on her in times of need. But I realized that I don't want to be dependent that much on a person. And when this person would leave, I would be with nothing. That's at least what I learned about myself. And I learned that I need to be there for myself. First of all, I need to have my own world in a relationship. I already talked about it in one of the videos, but to have my own world, and she has to have her own world, and our world should meet in the middle. It shouldn't be like one world and that's it. And this is also something the heartbreak taught me. I need to have my own world, Who am I without this relationship? Who am I outside this relationship? Who am I when the person that I count on the most is not around, you know? I don't want to be a broken piece again, you know? Okay, lesson learned. That was another lesson I learned. And I think another important lesson that I learned was that the world is not always sunshine and rainbows, you know? I think a heartbreak is a really necessary, almost I want to say necessary thing, you know? Because it makes you more mature. It makes you understand a lot of things about yourself, why things happen the way they happen. It's kind of necessary in your transition from being a kid into being a mature adult, you know? I think it's a very valuable step on the way. It also made me to come closer to my feelings, you know, and the way I feel about my emotions, how to process my emotions. Of course, as I said, how to talk about my emotions. It's all part of that, you know, getting to know who you are. It's all part of that. So now I'm going to talk to you. If someone left you and you feel like your world is coming down, you know, you see black and you cannot see future for yourself, just know that there is future to you. Just know that you are going to come out of it stronger, better, smarter, and wiser, you know. And it takes time, you know. I'm not saying it's simple. It takes time. It took me a lot of time, but time heals everything, you know, even a broken heart. And you're gonna see that the years gonna go by. And now I'm 7 years after, 8 years after. And now today I can make this video and look back and tell you all of the things that I gained from this heartbreak that made me who I am today, you know, for the good and the bad, you know. But I think you should know that it's necessary for your development and you're gonna be okay. Just give it time, let it process, be with friends, be with people that love you, with your family, talk with them, open up to them because they are there for you, you know. And in the process, you're gonna learn a lot of things about yourself. So this is the tip for me to you, I guess. And I hope I could transfer the message that I wanted to transfer in a clear way, but it is already late, so I'm gonna go to sleep. But I'll see you guys tomorrow, and if you're not subscribed yet, please do. And yeah, see you in the next video. Thank you.